radial engines, tail wheels, air shows, and the lessons that make better pilots. Welcome to Retro-Aero with Czech pilot Dale. Aviation history, practical airmanship, and honest hangar stories. Let's fly.
We took off from the air.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Retro-Aero podcast question of the week. I am your host, Czech pilot Dale. Starting today, we won't be doing a question of the day. Instead, we're going to be doing a question of the week. If you would like to submit a question for the question of the week, please email us at aviators@retroaero.org. Or if you're part of our WhatsApp group, you can always ask a question in our podcast subgroup. This week's question of the week is, what is the most important skill for a pilot? Today, I think that answer is very different than it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago, and 40 years ago. Technology is a wonderful thing, and it's helped us in many ways. But unfortunately, the ease of being able to find an answer has caused a certain skill set to atrophy. The most important skill for a pilot today, or someone who's considering becoming a pilot today, or someone who is trying to become a pilot today, the most important skill to develop is critical thinking. Being able to reason your way out of a situation or to determine a solution to a situation without having the crutch of AI or Google or the internet as a way to help you out. Because when you're in an airplane, it is impossible to teach every possible emergency scenario or every variance of a scenario. And that means you have to be able to reason or critically think to a successful outcome. For example, just because a particular emergency is not in the airman certification standards or practical test standards doesn't mean it's not something that should be taught or should be encountered as a student or as a pilot, or maybe encountered in real life. For example, one of my proteges, who did an excellent job, by the way, encountered a scenario they'd never been presented before. In cruise, at 5,500 feet, they went to pull the throttle back in their Cessna 172 to start a descent, and the throttle came out of the dash, came all the way back into the cockpit. The airplane was stuck at 2,550 RPM. What do you do? Fortunately, they had two instructors and a student on board with them, and between all of them, they were able to reason their way to a successful outcome. Ask yourself, what would you do if your engine was struck at almost full power? If you've never thought of that and you can't think of a solution or a way out of it, that's the skill set that needs to be developed today. So, if you want to become a successful pilot, the number one skill that needs to be learned today is critical thinking. All right, thanks for listening. I'll see you next week. And remember, keep the oily side down unless you're doing aerobatics. See you then.
You've been listening to Retro-Aero with Czech pilot Dale. Thanks for flying along, and remember to always have airspeed, altitude, and ideas, or at least 2 out of 3. Bye for now.